presented by EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 55 yards.
Well, to no one's surprise, he gets an early rep right there, and they've been playing their best ball this season as they built this winning streak. And that includes the ground game, where he's kept the offense productive and put them in position to win ball games. The question now is, can this defense that he's facing do what others haven't and finally put a stop to this streak?
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Looking to throw. Kramer. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Kramer. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. So they bring out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So here are the Eagles now backed up to start their first drive. And they'll be led out by their 7th-year quarterback.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Number 85. An 8-yard pickup. First down, Philadelphia.
A handoff for Samuel. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. He'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He had 3 catches last week. That one his third on this drive alone.
To number 88, an 8-yard pickup. First down, Philadelphia.
They go play action here on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it fourth down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Thunderbirds offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And as you see on the graphic, he's right up there with the best in the league when it comes to throwing touchdowns. Currently second in the NFL at this point of the season. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Looking to throw. Kramer. And he's got his man on the out route. Whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here is 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Kramer. He's got his target. That's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 48 yards.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Well, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. Looking to throw. Kramer. That's to the pylon and incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. They're going to look to throw. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's in the midst of a very solid season, currently second in the NFL in passing yards. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here first and 10. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Thunderbirds will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Eagles offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And the numbers have looked good this season. Case in point right here. He is up there among the NFL leaders in TD passes. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Is that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Back to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. But he will not get away. He stops short of the marker. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And as a result, possession switches hands. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 45-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Nelson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the 1st. Operating from the gun. Kramer looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Terry. His 2nd catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his 1st, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Kramer hauling it in. Nelson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Off play action. Kramer. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 4th down, Kramer able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
At the Eagles' 13-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He finds his man, complete. That's Terry. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Slot man moves right. Looking to throw. Kramer. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Thunderbirds go up by 2 touchdowns. In the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention in coverage moving forward.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Philly. 41 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks. And you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. First and goal. Out of the gun, it's going to be Samuel with a run. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Second and goal from the 1. And they'll run again. And he will not get in. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Back to the 2. It's a loss of 2. Now third down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available. And they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
With the way things have gone in this game, I think they've got to consider going for it here. I realize it's just the second quarter, so they're not panicking, but they need something to give them positive momentum to get things going.
So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Now on fourth down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here this first half. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Call that a gain of 11. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Operating from the gun, Kramer. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down.
Second and 6 at the 42-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Kramer. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
And that is no good. And this will remain an 11-point spread.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Yeah, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. In motion, the tight end. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and it's the visitors who are out in front in the second quarter. The Bison seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and you can see they have the lead in that one as that game's gone to halftime. The Armadillos trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Here's a give to Samuel. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll set up a throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. He'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Another carry for the wide receiver, Samuel. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Pryor has it complete.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and more than that. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Samuel. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Now the try here for the point after. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
It's now 3rd and 9.
The slot man in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And the slot man goes in motion left. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Back to throw. Kramer. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Terry. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 22-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Nelson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw. Kramer caught by Nelson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll go as a gain of 4. And just like that, it's third down. Back to throw. Kramer. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
2nd and 3. Flush to his right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Gets this one to Morris. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 2nd and 7. This is Samuel. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. Back to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Well, the Louisville offense back out now. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Looking to throw. Kramer. And he fires one incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Slot man moves right. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Nelson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 47.
Back to throw. Kramer. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Kramer. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
He'll look to throw.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Kramer.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area. So it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Back to throw again. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake. Kramer. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Operating from the gun. Kramer.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown!
A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Thunderbirds are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So the drive there took 6 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC.
Now the current playoff picture, and you can see they are one of those 3 wild card teams, at least for the moment, but they have not clinched that spot, Charles. And look, their message has been clear. We're keeping our foot on the gas to the very end.
And how about the theater and the drama that's involved, partner? The best part, we've got a front row seat to it all. And I think this is obviously the ultimate goal when they added the 7 seeds to the playoffs back in 2020. More drama, more teams in it late in the season, and more importance on games like this.
Second and 2. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
To the right side and intercepted.
And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance, if they want, to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Nelson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Nelson, and I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll run on first down. Nelson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Louisville,
it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.